Um, hey, everybody, thanks for joining in today to the Peculiar Collective training. I'll be your host, Dr. Hill. And as I said before, today's event is sponsored by PicSpotter, your number one choice when it comes to CRMs for photographers. The goal of today is to go through a workflow and how you can turn a quick event into something that's profitable. I'm going to go through my step process and then how I use to market it so that other photographers within the collective can leverage this same kind of thought process into turning profit. This is not to take away from those seasoned veterans. We really want to take time to edit out this, that, and the third. This is for the individual who's looking to turn a profit and maximize on the time that they're investing, right? So I'm going to first open up two of my favorite tools to use when it comes to photography sessions. One being Aftershoot, and I'll drop my link for Aftershoot inside of here. And then Imagen AI, I will also drop that link into the chat so that if people are interested in so moved, you will be able to take advantage. With the Imagen AI referral, you get your first 1,500 images on the house for free. And with Aftershoot, I believe you get a 10% code as well. So I just dropped those in the chat. Feel free to click those, and here we go. So first thing I do is I insert my memory card into my card reader, and then I go and open up my Aftershoot. Going back to the home page, as you guys can see, since starting off with Aftershoot, I got Aftershoot right after we left WPPI. I have gone through about 33,000 photos, and it has saved me. It usually shows up here how much time it saved me. I don't know where it is. Hold on, let's see if I delete that. I know it saved me like, oh no, here, 7 days and 12 hours worth of time. I think it saved me a lot more than that, but if that's what it's claiming, that's perfectly fine. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to find that folder. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to insert that. I'm going to hit call and backup. I'm going to look and see working directory. Photos will be copied and culled from here. I'm going to insert those into my photography directory. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look at July. What's today's date? Today is the 13th. So I'm going to put 7/13, 2022. Hit select. Keep folder structure. Hit continue. From here, you can call blurred photos, duplicate. I want that strict because sometimes I double shoot, so I'll hit the same photo twice. Aftershoot will notice if it's the same photo. Selection and duplicate sets. So I said moderate as far as that, and then amount of highlights. So if you have an event, let's say you have a larger event, um, and the client says, hey, can I get some highlights to post for social media? Aftershoot will go ahead and predetermine what they think a highlight would be in order to pretty much give you some highlights that you can then pick from. This is a very small gallery. That's why I said tonight was perfect. I only had to take about 50 photos. I was only there for a short amount of time. It was a hotel opening, and they just asked for like some photos like of the grand opening. So I just came in, took some photos, since the hotel is a part of a networking group that I'm in. Another tip for those who are in the collective, I always encourage this, is that you should be branching off your network and working with different networking groups. This network group that I'm in is called the Route 40 Business Association. So I am putting in my time with them. There are probably about 75 members at Route 40. I am one of the, if not the only photographer in my group or in the group. So when it comes to like different sessions and things of that nature, I typically get a call. So here's the gallery, pretty much straightforward. Everybody sees I was able to light it pretty well. Everything's in focus, nothing crazy. This one doesn't really tell a story or anything, so I'll delete that. This one has her mouth open in the back of her head, so I'll delete that. Good. Delete this.
And one of the cool things about Aftershoot, when you go through it, is the hotkeys, right? Is the way that you can pick and select which ones you want to keep. Like you can do it by or you can do it by the colors, or you can do A for accept, X to cancel it.
I like that a lot as well. You also can go by numbers. So like, hey, this is a good number. It's a good number. I tried something here. I'm going to keep that to see if I can crop it later. This is a decent photo. This is a decent photo. It's important to go in the different sections to see what's blurred. I think those photos are already in there. Yeah. So no, they weren't. So those are two different things. So I did an angle there, did an angle here. Don't necessarily need this, so I can delete that. All right. So right now it's saying I have 34 photos with 4 highlights, right? So this is saying that these are the 4 highlight photos. I don't necessarily think they were highlight, but I mean, hey. So all in all, I have 38 photos, right? So I'll go ahead, I'll hit export, and I should have timed this. If anybody is looking at a timer, if you don't mind, just paying attention to the time. I'll go here. I'll pick a destination. My destination recently changed because I just changed my oh shoot, I gotta change it.
And what does Capture One do?
Are you asking me or?
Yes.
So I don't use Capture One, I use Lightroom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in Lightroom.
Do you make duplicates when you export it into Lightroom?
I have a separate folder that says called, and I can go back through and delete the originals. 440. This is Hilton.
Yeah, you definitely about to make me get Aftershoot again because I had it before when they were first doing the trial joints. So I'm definitely gonna get it again now.
I feel like you just got to tweak and play with the settings on the calling and like what the grouping and how strict you want it and stuff.
Yeah, you just play around with it. I mean, this is
Yeah.
because it's only like 50 images, so it's not. Everybody can still see my Lightroom, right?
No, we see you.
You see me? All right, hold on. I hit the wrong thing. All right, here we go. Sorry, I thought I hit Lightroom. Everybody see Lightroom now?
Yep.
All right, cool. So right now it's building out the event, and I got to go back and source all these things. So I just moved over my got a new hard drive, so I just moved some stuff in. All right, so here's the folder. I think it's going to give me, what, 38 images? All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rename this. I'm going to say Hilton Garden as the name. Boom, change the name. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to quit. Now that I quit, I'm going to open up my Imagen AI. So I'm going to share my screen. So now I'm in Imagen AI. I'm going to hit a talent profile. I'm going to use California Dreaming because I think it's a great joint to use.
And these presets are included, correct?
Yeah, they're included. Yep. I'm going to check Hilton Garden. It's right here. I'm going to type in Hilton Garden here. I'm going to hit straighten. I don't need to crop it because I'll probably go in and crop. And then I hit add, taking all the things. I'm gonna hit upload. So now we're sitting here, I'm uploading. Right now, I usually go bathroom, get something to drink, something like that. Just kill some time. it's telling me that
So
it's
the
gonna,
project's got to get uploaded to the cloud for it to get processed.
yeah,
Okay. And so you need a Wi-Fi connection. You can't do this offline.
correct. You have to be Wi-Fi connection.
Now, does this do only raw images and JPEG, or it does all
Just
photos?
raw.
Okay.
So it's still coming up. It's done. So by now I would have already, got my water or finishing up and walking back. Boom, boom, boom. It says it's processing. Anticipate a couple seconds. It should say it's now done. The cool thing about this as well with Aftershoot and Imagen AI, you don't have to sit here because they both will email you when they're done processing. So you literally can start the process for culling and leave, watch TV, do whatever it is that you need to do. It'll email you when it's done and ready, and then you just come back to your computer to start the next phase or the next process.
Well, it definitely seems like the time saver.
So it should be finishing up. All right, so I just got an email saying that it's now done. All right. Sometimes every now and then, up there it is. Just got to click off and click back. I'll hit download edits. They'll tell me to open up Lightroom. Open up Lightroom Classic. I'll stop sharing this screen so you guys can see it. Stop. Lightroom, share. Lightroom Classic. All right, and here's the edits. I try to go to a photo, but it's pretty fast. See if it goes. Does everybody see some of it changing? I see some of it changing.
Austin, you could do the before and after thing.
Oh shoot, I can't do the before and after. See, you're smart.
Come on now.
Yeah, so let me go here, develop. And like I said, everyone is different. So it's different because it's pretty much a well lit, like it's, you know what I mean? Like a lit it pretty well, but you can notice like in the whites, right? So like her shirt, it gave like a little yellow tint before. Now it gives like a more of a white tint. Here a little bit darker. Now she doesn't look as, as chalky there.
When you were flying through the images, it looked like it was consistent.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
It looked very consistent.
so here's a very noticeable one, right? So if you see on the left, it's kind of dark. I didn't bounce the light perfectly, but here, the white balance is there. She looks more well lit. The shadows are there. Here's another one. Looks a little dimmer. Now it looks a little bit more crisp, a little more blue. Here's another one. Like the bartender, the bartender probably looks a little bit more well lit, stuff like that. It looks more consistent, right?
And this is a preset you applied?
Yeah, it's a preset you apply. I applied. So here, me, I like to bump the clarity like in my photos. So like I'll push the clarity up a little bit. Push the clarity up a little bit. Push the clarity just slightly. I'm not gonna do all of it because people don't appreciate. That's the other thing, you know, you do it for clients. Not saying they don't appreciate the work, but you know, nobody's gonna really care about like the skin being smooth. So here, if I had wanted to crop it, I crop like for me.
How come you didn't let it do the crop?
Oh, because sometimes it's spot on. Sometimes it's not. For me, because this wasn't a not. I mean, it's 1 cent, but you know, because it was a minimal gig, you know, try
Sure.
as much as possible.
So it's 1 cent an image to crop.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so pretty much just going through, checking. For the most part, like we're good. Oh, I know there's one. There's one.
Dr. Austin, when you are going through your pictures, do you still have the ability to add your own enhancements after they've already gone through and done it already?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I'm doing right now. There was one shot like here. Like this is another reason why I didn't crop, right? Like I purposely did that because I was bored sitting at the bar and I knew like I was going to try to crop it through. But he's like doesn't have his eyes open, kind of looks kind of drunk. I don't know. Oh, look how sharp, look how razor tech sharp that Sony is.
Hey, also, can you do me a favor? Can you repost the links to both Aftershoot and
Sure can. I sure can. So went through everything. So now I'm done. All I'm going to do is export it. And I mean, this probably took me really 15, 20 minutes. You know, nothing.
Thank you.
Hold up. You're done with that client, like right now.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm done. I put Hilton Garden in.
Okay, hold on. Do you do this for portraits as well, or?
So it depends on the type of session. Like if there's some sessions I have done, yes. Like I had somebody shoot me. You know, you always get those clients, you know, and it goes back to like knowing and understanding your client. This is why I said it's important, right? So I had a client says, "Oh, I just need something like really quick, blah blah blah," you know, and I just happened to have my camera, and I was on the phone like with RJ and Terrell one day, and I did a really quick shoot. It was $125, and it literally was a 10-minute meeting them on lunch break because they wanted something for their birthday. And I'll share with you all the gallery. And this is one I didn't the retouch. I know they paid for retouches afterwards. I made them pay for retouches. But this is what was the final gallery. Where was it? Where's it? No, it's not that far back. Here it is. This is the gallery. This is John Branch's preset.
Can you drop the preset in the chat?
I mean, it's in Imagen AI.
Oh.
So this is John Branch's preset. So literally, this is 10 minutes. I went back to work. I put it in my computer. I ran it through Aftershoot, ran it through Imagen AI, exported it, and said like you got to pay for the retouches. She liked them, had a couple of retouches because she just wanted to smooth her skin out. But I was in and out. Like I said, I shot for 10 minutes. I put it in Imagen AI. That stuff took probably another 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. And it was $100-something. So is that something I would advertise? Absolutely not. I wouldn't advertise it. But is it something like you just somewhere and someone said, hey, like, yo, can you cover a gig for me? And you're like, sure, like, I don't, you know, not a problem. I'll cover the gig. And this is how you maximize on it. Now, another selling tip or a quick tip, another quick tip for you that I do, like if I have an event, right? So, you know, I'll give a perfect example. So I have an event, and you know, everybody for event photography, they always ask like, you know, how long is it going to take you? Oh, it'll probably take me a week to 2 weeks to get your photos back, right? Well, I have a service where I say, hey, look, I know time is of the essence. I can get you your photos back in 24 hours for an upcharge of $75 to $100. Really depends on how long the event is, right? So a client will be like, yeah, sure, like I'll pay the upcharge. So they pay the upcharge, but all you're doing is putting in the after shoot and Imagen AI. So now you're able to maximize on your profits for something that you were going to do regardless anyway. So just taking those extra 30 minutes after you have an event to shove it in and have it processed can now turn into a larger profit margin for you.
That's definitely something that you could upsell.
Oh, yeah,
Easy.
absolutely. Because everybody
Easy.
wants it. But questions though, before I
I like the idea of you upselling instead of
automatically
Right.
including it.
for the events, because events are like people always want them instantly.
Yeah, right
You know,
away,
like-
like you said.
Yeah, and it's typically not something that requires a lot of editing or retouching. You know what I mean? That's why I said like you pick and choose. Like if it's a studio session, I'm not using Imagen AI for studio. Now, could I? Yes, because Imagen AI has a setting that allows you to teach it. And I probably have 5,000 studio images that I've edited, but that goes back to the old school of, you know, everybody says like, oh, I don't edit, like I only give 10 images back and that's it. Well, that might end up biting some people in the butt because you're not gonna be able to teach Imagen AI or some of these AI softwares your style because you're only editing so many photos, good, bad, or indifferent. So like for myself, if I had 5,000 studio images, I could edit and teach it because I pretty much have the same lighting set up, the same everything. So if I upload and teach it to 5,000, I could now dump it into Aftershoot, dump it into Imagen AI, and keep it pushing in the studio.
Okay, so what are your gripes?
What are my gripes with it?
Yeah.
I really don't have many gripes, to be honest. I mean, like anything, sometimes do I expect it to be perfect? No, but I go into it knowing that it's not going to be perfect. Like, does it help me save time? Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing. You know, you're either going to save time or you're going to save money. And for me, you know, I don't know if people know that, like, I'm not a full-time photographer. There are some full-time photographers who may have the time, and that's great. But for me, I'm getting business because of relationships, because I'm efficient, and because I'm able to solve problems for potential clients. Like that's why I'm getting. Like I don't have time to sit down and go through and give some of the attention to some of the extra detail that some of my photographer friends are able to do. Like, yo, I applaud them for it. I cheer them on. But for me, it's about being efficient and delivering something quality. And that's what AI software does.
Now, would you say it's better than sending it to an editing company? Say, for instance, Image Salon, Freedom Edits, that kind of thing.
For myself, no, because Imagen AI is like it's the same kind of software that Image Salon is going to do. Because Image Salon has Fadio.
So the like freedom edits and stuff like that, maybe more. I guess more for at least right now, because for all we know, they could be using AI and we don't even know. But at least for right now, they may be more for like your more anal types.
Yeah.
That really are sticklers for like consistency. Even though it seems like the AI is really they've been working on nailing consistency in terms of edits.
I mean, so like RJ has a client who is very particular, like extremely particular. Like he shot something. So like I wouldn't recommend it for that. But like for this group that just had, they're not very particular. So I just finished it. They want to be able to post on Facebook tomorrow that Hilton Garden Inn had a grand opening event and they helped them. That's it. That's their. You have to know and understand your audience, right? A lot of photographers, and I'm going to get off my soapbox in a minute, but a lot of photographers think that the solution they're offering is what their client cares about, and it isn't. You know, a lot of people will talk about the art and the imagery. That's fine. But I'll be the first one to tell a client, like, if you want art or imagery, go to RJ, go to this person, go to that person. If you want somebody who's going to understand the deliverable that you're looking for, then I'm your guy.
You're right. Yeah, the audience is different for different people. You're correct.
Yeah, you have to understand and know your audience.
Well, you made a point there, brother.
I feel like that was a shot at me, Sheena, but I appreciate it.
It was definitely not a shot. I was wondering why you laughed. You made a point. I was agreeing.
And
You're not used to that. That's what it is.
your first 1,000 photos for Imagen AI is free. So,
1,500.
ooh, mama.
If you use the link, so if you did it on your own, it's 1,000. If you use my link, it's 1,500, and I don't make any money off of it. Just so everybody's aware, I make no money off of it.
I wouldn't care if you did.
Okay,
Right.
I'm just saying.
It would be good if you did, actually.
I'm all about just helping people make money. Like I don't making $5 and having to give Uncle Sam 3 of it is not.
Dr. Hill, help me make money, Dr. Hill. Because I'm trying to get places like you in that good studio. I'm trying to get my logo embroidered on the wall too. So
I can tell you though, if you want to make money, you have to learn how to solve client problems. Period. You have to learn how to solve somebody's problem.
It's all about the client experience.
It's all about the client experience and solving their problem. Like, it's not like a magic sauce, and people think like it's this difficult thing. Like it's all about just solving the client problem. All right, let me stop.